Good afternoon, everybody. A little bit late, but we are here and we're going to do this real fast, okay? So, how do you handle when either A, it feels like your passion is being taken away, or you have to put it on hold? This is something that's actually very real. Most of us at some point will have to deal with this. I'm actually currently in the state of dealing with one of those. Typically, people go through kind of the similar 5 stages of grief. You have a bit of denial that you really have to give it up. Like, no, I'll make it work somehow. And you try and make it work. Then usually there's a little bit of bargaining, maybe for a little bit more time, a little bit more money in the budget, a little bit more resources to continue with this hobby, whatever that hobby is. A lot of people will fall into a depression afterwards when they realize they just can't keep going at that pace. It's too stressful, the hobby's no longer fun, the thing that used to bring them joy is now not. And finally, you get a little bit of acceptance of, okay, now is not the time for the hobby, but maybe sometime in the future, I can have it back. So that's a quick rundown. Read the blog that I'll post later about more details, but we're going to try and go through this quick before children get distracted and realize mom's on the phone. So, recently I have two main hobbies, horses and gardening, okay? I'm a very strong-willed and independent person, and I like to do things myself. As I've had with each additional child, my time with the horses has gotten less and less for actually riding, and honestly just spending time with them. They've been kind of neglected as far as time goes and attention, and their behavior reflects that. However, I've managed, because I still can take care of them. I still feed them, water them, give them their hay, brush them, and that's been just the way it is. I sneak a ride in here and there, and I'm getting to help my kids learn how to ride. So that's kind of how I've filled that void. My other passion is gardening. I love growing the garden. It's something I got from my grandmother, and as our family has increased, our garden has grown bigger. We need more food from our garden. It's also something I can do with the kids. So a lot of the time that I used to spend riding, I now spend gardening. I just basically switched a little bit. So this late this winter, early spring, depending on when you classify that starting, I had a very stark reality of the feelings of both those passions being taken away, and I did not like it at all. So I found out early spring, late winter, I think it was still technically winter, that I started bleeding during a pregnancy, and found out that I had a fairly large subchronic hematoma, and basically just had to do nothing until it stopped bleeding, which was not fun. I was restricted down to 10 pounds, lifting no more than 10 pounds, and very limited activity. You can't do a whole lot with anything garden or horse related on 10 pounds. I could still feed grain. I had to adjust how I was feeding it, as far as for the other animals, because their buckets were bigger than 10 pounds. But I couldn't pitch hay anymore. I couldn't do any of the yard prep, or really any of the garden prep. The windbreak project that I had started cleaning up, that was now put on hold, probably honestly until this fall. The kids and I got a lot of it done with the skid steer when we got that done, but there's a bunch of little things that need to be cleaned up yet, and it's just not going to happen this spring. So I went through, at first I was okay with it. I was like, okay, this is short term, like, usually They say it only lasts about 2 weeks. I can handle that, and then I can start again. Start getting back to normal activity. Even if it's reduced, like, I can still do some things. Take care of my garden and whatnot. And the animals. Well, 2 weeks came and went. And 2 weeks turned into a month with still no end in sight. I started to get angry that there was no clear reason why I had this thing. Our best guess is I did something strenuous, pulled muscles, and a couple of my vitamin levels were low, which led to basically a deep bruise in my uterus. So yeah, I was angry it was taking so long to heal. Like, why was this taking forever? In total, I bled 7 weeks before it finally stopped. And even after that, I've been recommended to continue light activity, keeping that low, and restrict my lifting. I can now lift occasionally the kids, which is about 30 pounds, but I can't do it for very long. Basically anything that strains my core or my core, or pulls tension on that, I shouldn't do. So I was frustrated, angry that all these things I normally do during the summertime I can't do. I've finally come around to accepting that I'm just, and this has taken a very long time too. You guys are getting the cliff notes. Accepting that I'm not going to resume full activity until probably a couple of months after this baby's born. And that's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's been very difficult to accept that. But it has been helped by the fact that I have friends and family close that are willing to step up and help and can. My husband, bless him, has had to do a lot of my chores now that I normally take care of. I pretty much usually take care of everything around our house, and he's now having to do some of it. I have a couple good friends, Andrew and Nicole, that come out and help with the garden. Big gardening days when we're doing a lot of planting, the mulching, weeding. They've been out helping with that because I just can't do it. I can do short periods of time, but I can't do a lot at once because otherwise I start to get pull and tender, and yeah, I risk re-injuring things again. So that's been a bit of my journey through this, and I've just kind of accepted the fact that eventually it'll come back. Like, this is not forever, thankfully. But I have to just be patient now. So hopefully that's a little bit of encouragement for when you wind up in a time where you have to give up something for a time that you really, really love. And yeah, that's what I got today. Subscribe to the blog if you haven't. Join our group on Facebook for more of these. We go live every week there. I'll talk to you later. Bye.